We are soft. Yeah, we soft as hell. We soft as hell. Oh, how y'all doing? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. It's Hangover Monday, unfortunately. Hangover Monday. Another disappointing loss. Cowboys are now 1-3 on the season. We haven't been 1-3 on the season in 10 years. So that should tell you something. Now, there's been a lot of people in the comment sections and things of that nature, just all over the place, just wanting to fire the coaches. And like I said, you can't fire coaches this early. You know what I mean? Like you got to give them some. Look, we're in a COVID year. You ask me. I think that Mike McCarthy's a good coach. You look at his track record and what he's done. I think he's just got to get a handle of this team and just, figure out these players and things of that nature. I also said in the offseason that I didn't look for perfection this year. And I'm not looking at it because it is a COVID year and things have, changed tremendously for the Dallas Cowboys on both sides of the ball. Now you look at our offense is if you're gonna look at the bright spot of anything, I mean the offense can put up points obviously. But again, you don't want your quarterback throwing the ball that many times. You don't have to sit here and just throw everything on Dak Prescott. Now, I gotta give him credit. He has made some mistakes on some throws and things of that nature. But I mean, no quarterback's perfect. It happens. Now, I give him his credit for, trying to battle back in these games and doing what he can. But we shouldn't be in these situations. He's got to work on his timing with getting the ball out in certain situations. These running backs got to stop fumbling the ball. It's like we're hurting ourselves. We go out there and we just get our ass whooped. And you got to get to a certain point where it's like, okay, are we going to sit here and continue to get embarrassed, or we're going to get our stuff together and figure this out and get back on the road? Now, am I disappointed with the play of this team? Damn right I am. But I also have to look at things from a different perspective too. I can't just sit here. I'll let the regular fans do that. Me as a YouTuber, I want to at least bring some type of positive light to something because I know fans are reaching and trying to figure out what it is. Now I had time to think about some things, and I'm gonna bring something to your attention with this team, specifically on defense. Now, like I said, on offense, it's just miscues. It's player execution. I don't think Kellen's doing a bad job calling plays. I just think that, well, I did question one. It was that one play where we got down first and goal, and it was the play where Dak Prescott, I think, intercepted. It was the Amari Cooper play. So we know that Amari Cooper on that interception, Amari Cooper was on a slant route. He didn't fight through the slant route. He just stuck. He literally stopped on the route, and Denzel Ward intercepted the pass. It was almost like it was miscommunication. Like he thought he was supposed to be blocking or something, or like it was a pick play. But there was no other Cowboys there to block for. It was only two DBs from the Browns that were there. So I mean, there was nothing you can do but in that situation, but keep running your damn route because Dak had already threw the ball. Because again, if you know anything about throwing footballs and playing football, when you throw to a receiver, you don't throw to the receiver. You throw to the point where they're supposed to be at. So with that being said, Dak threw the ball in anticipation for him to be at that spot. That was the reason why. And if you stop on your route, whoever's there going to catch the ball. That's just natural. Now, the fumble that the forced fumble, really good job on the defense for the Browns. They came in, knew what they wanted to do. Myles Garrett had his way. Now, at some point, you have to figure something out with Terrence Steele. If you see him over there struggling, you need to help him. But to take him out of the game and to diminish his confidence like that, I just thought that wasn't good of the coaching staff to do that because now you got a guy that his confidence is really low now. What the hell do you expect him to do with Myles Garrett? That is like him and Aaron Donald are, in my opinion, the two best rushers in the league. You had to provide help. You should have got a tight end to come over there, Chip, or something. You can't leave him on an island like that when you know that he's an undrafted guy still learning this game. Come on now. That part is coaching. Now, a lot of his player execution. I don't blame a lot of coaching staff for some of the stuff, but I will say something about the defensive coordinator in a second. Some stats that I accumulated I just wanted to talk about. You literally allowed the Browns 307 rushing yards on you. You let them run 307 total rushing yards on you between four running backs for real, because Nick Chubb got hurt. So Nick Chubb got his little bit of chunk yardage. Kareem Hunt got 2 touchdowns and he got some yardage. Dontrell Hilliard had 19. Who the hell is Dontrell Hilliard? And this running back went off for the Browns. D'Ernest Johnson, 95 yards against the Cowboys. You let them average 7.7 yards a carry on your ass. D-Wright was right. I mean, D-Law was right when he said that. Soft. Damn defense playing soft. I went back and looked at the game. I went back and looked at some of the film. Primarily the defense. That's all I was looking at was the defense. Because I was trying to formulate an idea of what could have happened. Now, you look on offense, Dak is setting records. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter. It's video game numbers because it doesn't translate into wins. Now, if our defense was playing better and Dak was getting these numbers too, we'd have been 4-0. We'd have been 4-0 if the defense was doing their job. But the offense can't do it by themselves. They say the games is won in the trenches, right? And we losing in the trenches on both sides of the fence. Offensive line and defensive line. Dak is the first quarterback in NFL history to pass for over 150 yards in 3 straight games. Wow. But again, that all means nothing because it's not translated to wins. And then, of course, he had a career high in this game, 502 passing yards. But you still lost the game, so it didn't matter. Now, I argue with Rashid up and down about this. Garbage time stats, right? In my opinion, and this is what it is, garbage time stats, it's not considered garbage time unless you're mathematically out of the equation, meaning there's no way you could come back from this game. You're just padding the stats to try to make it look better in your loss. But no, in all this situation, the Cowboys were able to come back, and a lot of times they did. It's just the defense and the special teams faltered. But again, this you talk about on offense. The offensive line got to get better. They got to figure out the blocking. I don't know why they didn't sign Ron Leary. I don't know what the situation was with that. But you need some guys, and these guys. One bright spot I could say is Tyler Badish. I mean, he's out there trying to do something. But when you have an offensive line, everybody has to be at a cohesive point. Now you look at Joe Looney. Joe Looney sprained his knee. Thank God it's nothing serious. He may miss one game, but he should be back after that. But Tyler Badish is doing all right. I'm not mad at him. He's trying to hold his own. But like I said, I went back and looked at some of the plays on defense from this game, and I tell you, these players, I don't know what happened this year. And again, I know COVID happened. I know that, but this is the 4th game in now. They should be back in football shape by now. These guys are just missing. They're not reading the field. They're not finding out where the ball carrier is and things of that nature. They're over pursuing. They're not in the right spot. They're letting guys get the ball over them and not getting help in the back end. It's a lot going on right now. And it's just like, I saw one play where the running back jump cut one time, and 4 of the Cowboys defensive players, including the lineman and the D lineman, were on the ground. You can't tackle somebody if you're laying on the ground, if you got knocked down, and then wonder why they average 7.7 yards a carry. The last time the Dallas Cowboys lost to the Cleveland Browns was in 94. I'm going to say it again. The last time, before yesterday, the last time the Cowboys lost to the Browns was in 1994. Damn. You got, and I know this ain't your granddaddy's Browns anymore. They're talented. I got to give it to them. They're a good team. They got a brand new coach and staff as well, but they are the same on defense. They just have a new coach. So it's a little bit easier transition for them. They pretty much got the same guys, and they added a couple of pieces here and there, but they've always had, like, they've always they when you pick, when your record's so bad and you have so many years of getting good first round picks, at some point you utilize those first round picks and all those high picks that you got, and your team should be better with better coaching. So that's that. They had Freddie Kitchens before, he wasn't busting the grape, but with their new coach, what's his name, Steve, whatever, I can't pronounce his name, but anyway, he's all right. He's an all right coach now because they beat us. So now we talk about the defense, right? I sat here and I thought about it. I said, what is it? What is the issue outside of player as execution, of course? What is the reason why this defense is not fitting the bill? And I thought about it. And I know some of the talking heads and some of the former players for the Cowboys say, oh, well, it's not the scheme, it's not the coaches. Okay. I'm not saying that Mike Nolan is a bad coach, because he's had a little bit of success in some places, and there's been places that he's been in where he's rode the coattails of the defensive coordinator before him. He was inherited a good situation. Now with the Dallas Cowboys, we can all admit that our defense is a middle of the road defense. You got some guys in there that are dynamic, but for the most part, you have a middle of the road defense. And I said this so many times. I don't know how many times I said this before. You could go back and look at videos as proof that I have on here. I've said this. We are not a 3-4 team. We're not set up for that. That's the reason why they didn't get TJ Watt when he got drafted, because at the time we were straight 4-3. There was no 3-4. We didn't have any 3-4 guys. There's only two guys on this defense that can play well in the 3-4, and that's Randy Gregory and Aldon Smith, because Aldon Smith has done it with the 49ers when he was with Jim Tom Sula over there and the Raiders. Aldon Smith can stand up as the outside linebacker, but what you don't want to do is have him actually play linebacker. You don't want him in the back trying to check no damn tight end. That's not what he does. He's a pure pass. We have a lot of pure pass rushers on this team, right? We have 3-point stance, hand in the dirt guys. DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford, Everson Griffin. All of those guys are put your hand in the dirt guy and go get them. Mike Nolan comes in here and he wants to. They kept asking, was he switching to a 3-4? And I'm like, you're doing a lot of 3-4 hybrid looks. Normally, I'm not really tripping off of that because, again, it works in certain situations. But when you have guys that are not fit for a 3-4, which is the majority of the guys on this team, like I said, Randy Gregory can't play till the Washington game. So, week 7. So, you're not going to see him till week 7. Him and Aldon are the only ones that can stand up, be a defensive end and stand up as an outside linebacker and do that from a standing position. Not these other guys, not Everson, not D-Law, not Dorrance Armstrong, and the guys that are behind them on the defensive end section. They can't. There's no way. So Nolan's going to have to switch things up. It's not trying to make it more simplistic because, again, they're running high school type stuff, college type stuff. It's not like it's hella difficult to understand. But when you have a situation where the scheme is different, and I think that's what it was. I think it's more of a scheme thing than anything. But hold on. I heard before where they said that they were going to utilize the scheme around the players, not the other way around. Where if you're going to utilize it against the scheme, it don't take a dumbass to know that these are not 3-4 guys; they're 4-3 guys. Now, if you go get you person that primary plays that, then so be it. But you got to do your research. You can't just willy nilly just grabbing stuff because it's like, okay, well, this person ain't even skilled at what I am. So you have to make sure that whatever players you have to play to their strengths. And that's what it's all about. You have to play to their strengths. And if you play to their strengths, it's going to work out for you. It will. I just think that Mike Nolan, he needs to realize and open his eyes and realize that, like, um, you can't put these guys and force them to be 3-4 when they're a 4-3 guy. It's just the way it is, and that's just how I feel about that. But I'm just looking at these numbers. I'm looking at the records that Dak is getting. Excuse me, I'm tired. It's been a long day. Finally got a replacement tire for my car today. It was just, but I just, it's crazy. But that's the only thing I can think of on this defense. Like I said, play these guys the way they play. This guy's a 4-3. Mike Nolan, I know you're a 3-4 guy, but if you can't keep this team the way they are, because again, if you want to get something out of these players and not be soft, like D Law said, play the traditional 3-4. Forget this 3-4 stuff. If you want to do some hybrid 3-4 stuff, just do it with certain players like Alden and Randy when he comes back. Don't do that crap with D Law, because D Law is not going to be successful. Everson Griffin's not going to be successful. You saw what Everson Griffin did with the Vikings. You take a page out of that, you'll see how dominant he was. And over there, he had, I think, Daniil Hunter. He had a few other guys, but for the most part, you look at the grand scheme of things, our defensive line should be stopping stuff. It shouldn't be a situation where they can't do anything. So I look at it like this. That's just how I look at it. But that's all for my rant. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Peace.